And hello there, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. It is the DOUG here once again, and it's time for picks. Of course, the AFC and NFC conference game picks. Of course, we have four teams left. We're going to see who survives. Of course, Dave would be with me, but he's having app issues on the phone, aka the app hates him. But let's give a quick recap of what happened last week. I went 2-2, so for the season, I went 2-2 last week, and for the postseason, I am 6-4. Not a bad record, not great, but not bad. Um, Bengals were able to upset the Titans on the road. Niners, thanks to those special teams, bailed them out against the Packers. The Rams, Coop did his job and helped his team beat the Bucks, and the Chiefs won in overtime because of a coin toss. But let's take a look at these a little bit more carefully. Um, Particularly the Bengals, because I did predict that correct last week. Even with the Titans' defense getting about 8 or 9 sacks, it didn't matter because unfortunately the Bengals' defense stopped King Henry first game back, but that's what I was afraid of. And unfortunately, Ryan Tannehill, instead of playing like he has all year, went back to like he was with the Miami Dolphins. So as for the Niners and Packers, a great defensive game. Unfortunately, what cost the Packers in the end was the special teams, which they will rank the worst in the NFL, and unfortunately, it came to bite them in the ass. And we'll get to Aaron Rodgers, what he's going to do and what I think he might do. And then, of course, Sunday, the Rams held off a Buccaneers comeback, which we're going to discuss the Buccaneers in a minute. Hey, Dave. And, of course, the Bills lost to the Chiefs in overtime, and was probably one of the best playoff games they've ever done. Everyone wants to throw blame on him. I can't blame him. It was the special teams, the blocked punt by the Niners, and that's really what changed it. Was the punting team for the Packers, who was so bad. At 32nd ranked, the worst all special teams in the league caught up with them, unfortunately. And it does beg the question, what does Aaron Rodgers do? Because of the cap space that the Packers have. They have a lot of cap issues. Of course, Big Ben Roethlisberger retired, so there's that. Could he go to Pittsburgh? Could he retire? That is the question. Personally, I think it depends on what happens when we get to the NFL draft. Because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to wait a bit to see what the Packers do. If he doesn't like what the Packers do, I think he could go to Pittsburgh. I really think he could, because Pittsburgh's got a good defense. Barely. I think one of the issues was Big Ben was getting too old for this shit, and unfortunately age caught up with him. But Aaron Rodgers is no spring chicken as well. So there is that. Um, Hall of Fame, two-time Super Bowl champion, Rookie of the Year when he was a rookie. So he's going to be going in. There's no doubt on that. Um, but that gets us to the other game. Buccaneers, Brady and Gronk. No one knows what the future holds. We probably won't know their future for at least a few months. Do I think Brady's going to retire? The way he was sounding in his thing, he says he's going to talk to his family, it sounds like it. And he has nothing to prove. He has won Super Bowls with the Patriots. He's won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. He can ride off into the sunset at this point. Gronk can as well. Gronk could always go to AEW or WWE again. But it will be seen, because whatever Brady does, I think Gronk will do the same. There. Of course, congratulations to the Giants. You have found your new head coach. You hired the offensive coordinator for the Bills, so we'll see how that goes there. Um, I think Dave's with us now if the app's working.
Hey, what up?
There we go.
Yeah,
Um, I was trying to waste as
I
much
got.
time as possible.
I was signing sitting there was like wrong pass, like no, it's right pass, and I had left. Yeah, I got it. I'm in.
Nice.
London neighbors borrowed my PS4 downstairs, so I had
Ah,
the Packers and the Cowboy Packer neighbors downstairs.
yeah, which you got lucky in that game because here's the thing, anybody who didn't,
Yeah.
because he didn't say it last week on the video, he had money on that game, and he almost lost. You almost lost $50 if it wasn't for your special teams. Your Niners special teams bailed you out because
Yeah. So
it sure wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo who bailed your ass the fuck out. That's for sure. Um,
my coming. I have to wear my jersey when we're going on to Florida for Disney. We're going to Walt Disney World, so I wear my Doris Kittle jersey for 2 days. And I won $50. The Packers, so.
Good job there. How did you do this past week? Because I went 2-2.
I went 1-4. The only win.
You went 1-3. Ouch. Yeah, that's right, because you had the Titans winning. You pretty much had all the home teams winning, excluding the Packers and Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, ouch. Of course, we've already talked about Big Ben retiring. We don't know what Rodgers is going to do. We don't know what Tom Brady's going to do or Gronk. Also, it broke earlier this week. Sean Payton of the New Orleans Saints, he is stepping down. Which brings it.
Is he retired? What? Come here, bro. He might go to Cowboys.
Here's the thing with that, and I'm glad you're mentioning that. He's stepping down, so he's not retirement. The Saints own his rights for another 2 to 3 years. So let's say hypothetically he takes this year off, the next season off coach for another 2 to 3 years. You know, they're getting a new head coach, but they still own his name, the rights. It's kind of like, naming rights more or less. So if he wanted to go to a new team, that team would have to trade for him, because you can trade for coaches, but you would have to trade a lot probably. Now with that, when you mentioned Dallas, that would be because he's coached there before. He knows what it's like to deal with Jerry Jones and everything. It would be a good fit. But I think the smart money is, because I think he's going to go into broadcasting. That's what he's going to do. He's probably going to, he might pull a Jason Witt, take a year off or so, and then come back. But because you didn't say retirement, it kind of next to where you would have to trade for him. Now, speaking of Dallas, they all keeping Dan Quinn. They all keeping their head coach. Kyle Moore might be leaving. We don't know yet. But it is good news for Dallas that they're keeping everyone. I know Captain Ron, Stephen A. Smith, and everybody else would say that's a bad thing. It's actually not. When you look at their division, they're keeping all their core coordinators together. That's important, because we've seen when coordinators leave, teams kind of go downhill more or less. So we'll have to be careful with that. But let's get to the picks real quick, because that's what we're here for. So let's start with the first game. By the way, these are on Sunday, so everybody, if you want to watch the Royal Rumble, that's tomorrow. Game 1 is at 3 o'clock on CBS. The Bengals will be on the road against Kansas City. Paramount Plus, whatever. I'll be watching on CBS most likely. Kansas City's favored by 7 points. So in their first meeting, though, Joe Burrow and Case lit up Kansas City's defense. But Patrick Mahomes has been magic this postseason once again to keep the Chiefs alive. So the question is, do you take Magic Pat or Cool Joe? Now, I think the dog's like, pick the Rams. We're not at that game yet. Yeah. It's all right. I have cats and used to have a dog, so I get it. Here's the thing: the Bengals have beaten Kansas City. It was a few weeks ago in Week 17, but that game was in Cincinnati, not in Kansas City. And Joe Burrow kind of may have said a comment earlier this year that may have bite him in the butt, saying that these stadiums are not that loud. He's played in louder stadiums when he was in the SEC. Boy, you have not played in Kansas City. That is one of the loudest, if not the loudest, stadium in the NFL right now. And you're playing in Kansas City. Kansas City's both offenses are hot. The question is going to be which defense steps up. Bengals defense the last 2 weeks have stepped up, stopping the Raiders on a final drive and pretty much keeping King Henry in check against the Titans, because King Henry should have not even been playing, and Ryan Tannehill shows he's terrible. But you're playing Kansas City, and they are the 2 seed. By the way, we were wrong. The Niners are a 6 seed. We thought they were the 7 seed, but they actually were the 6 seed this year. So I thought they were the 7 seed the whole time. But I'm going to take Kansas City at home here. I would love to be wrong on this one. I would love to see Cincinnati make it, just so they could be their second or third Super Bowl in history. But if the Chiefs do win this, they would pretty much be the new dynasty in the AFC because this would be the third Super Bowl. This is the fourth AFC Championship game. And the question is, if Kansas City makes it to the Super Bowl, win or lose, does Andy Reid retire? Because he ain't no spring chicken. So that will be interesting to see if, because that's going to be one of the talking points after Kansas City either wins it all or not. Will Andy Reid hang it up? Because he's already got run ring. He may want to. The problem, unfortunately, would be for Kansas City if they do win Sunday and then win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes' little ignorant brother would never shut the fuck up.
And his wife, his girlfriend.
Well, I expect to go. I don't have a problem with the girlfriend or anything. Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend or wife. I don't have a problem with that. I expect the wife to stand behind you, but his brother needs to shut the fuck up.
The TikTok videos. Okay.
Definitely.
Well, before we begin, the Bengals won the 2 Super Bowls, and my friend I beat them twice. It's 40 years to the day of Sunday, the last Super Bowl we played each other. Last Super Bowl was 40 years ago. Bengals and the 49ers. So deep down, I want the Bengals to win, but I have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to win. But I'm doing an upset. I'm doing the Bengals over the Chiefs by a field goal.
Ooh, interesting.
27-30.
All right, nice. Not bad. We'll see what happens. 27-30. Good. That's not a bad pick, because it's going to be a high-scoring affair.
I love under. You know me. I pick underdogs.
That is true.
I like the Bengals going to Super Bowl. You know.
Well, it would be the first Super Bowl in years. Which I guarantee you this: if the Bengals do make the Super Bowl, everybody down in New Orleans will become Cincinnati fans because Joe Burrow is a national treasure down there, of going to LSU. This gets us to the other game, the NFC one, which kind of is good and bad. It's the Niners and Rams. It's the third time they're meeting. Unfortunately, though, the Rams have a problem. They have beaten the 49ers have beat them 6 straight times. So for the Niners to make it to the Super Bowl once again, they would have to make it a lucky number 7. Now here's the thing: Rams have the better weapons, but as we've seen this past season, both times, the Rams have choked in both games. And the game is in LA, so there's a lot of pressure on the Rams. Between you don't want to lose to the Niners third time in a row. This might be Matthew Stafford's best chance. Von Miller's last chance as well. Odell Beckham Jr., this might be his best chance to win a ring because we don't know if he's going to stay after this year. The Rams are in the win now mentality. You have to win now, because if not, oh boy, I have a feeling it could be a long time before you get back, because Matthew Stafford could decide to retire. He could stay, who knows. Von Miller, same thing. Now you got Sam Darnold, who will be back next year, win or lose probably. But for a lot of the guys on the team, this is the last hurrah. The Niners, to their credit, they have found ways to win these games. They got by Dallas thanks to good defense near the end of the game. They got by the Packers because of special teams. The question is, can they make it lucky number 3 in a row here and win on the road again, do what Tampa Bay did last year, win all their games on the road? What worries me, though, with the Niners, and this is what has me worried, both games,
Jimmy G.
Besides Jimmy G, you almost let the Cowboys come back, and the only reason you got by Green Bay is because your special teams blocked a punt. If it wasn't for those two things, you probably would have lost. Rams have a lot of weapons, but as we saw when they played against the Bucks, they almost let Tampa Bay come back. This could have been Niners at Tampa Bay if it wasn't for some magic from Matthew Stafford and Coop. This is a hard pick because here's the thing: Rams are favored by 3.5 points, which is odd because the Niners should be favored here because they've beaten them 6 straight fucking times. And here's the thing: if anyone's noticed, the only team I have not won with in the playoffs is the Niners. That's the only team I haven't won with yet. So I'm sure Niner fans are like, Doug, don't pick us, because if you do, we might lose, and then the Rams will fucking win. Well, think about it. I've won with every other team excluding the Niners. because I haven't picked them yet. What worries
Oh, I
me
thought you
though,
did.
no, I haven't
I
picked the
thought you
Niners.
did against the Texans.
No, I meant in the
Oh, in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
In the playoffs. What worries me, Matthew Stafford. This is his biggest game of his career. This is the first time he's been in the NFC Championship. And Odell Beckham Jr. This is a big game for him. Why Von Miller and Sam Darnold? Von Miller's already got a Super Bowl ring. This is no big game to him. Sam Darnold, kind of a big game for him because he wants that ring. There's a lot of fucking pressure on the Rams, and it's in LA. I don't think if they get embarrassed at home in the last home game before the Super Bowl, there's going to be some ugliness. I have a feeling. So as much as it pains me, because I'm not a fan of rematches that much, I am taking the 49ers here, and we're going to have a rematch from a Super Bowl a few years ago when it was the Niners and Chiefs. If that happens, because here's the thing, I'm hoping I'm wrong and it's the Rams because the Matthew Stafford. Because here's the thing, if he loses this game,
Not me.
well, I know not you, but if Matthew Stafford loses this game, he will forever be known pretty much as his generation's Philip Rivers and Dan Marino. Put up great yardage, but never won the Super Bowl. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, Doug, Philip Rivers is going to go into the Hall of Fame. Dan Marino's in the Hall. Yes, being in the Hall of Fame was nice, but I guarantee if you were to ask Dan Marino and Philip Rivers if they could get one Super Bowl ring and not but they would have to forfeit the Hall of Fame, I guarantee you they both would. And I'm going to quote and remember, even in the movie Little Nicky, that was Dan Marino's thing. Remember, he said he wanted to sell his soul for a Super Bowl ring, and the devil was like, I couldn't do that. To win in a playoff game. I don't think you would
Yeah.
ever. I think you'd be so pissed at me, you would blame me for that. You'd be
Nah,
like, "Damn
I
it,
just got to.
Doug!"
I got both. Okay, Jimmy G. No, I was watching. The fuck was it? Undisputed, I believe. Skip and Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp, yeah.
No. No, I watched this Stephen A. Smith thing earlier. He said, he said, Matthew Stafford is a good player, but if you lose to a Jimmy Garoppolo, you will be ashamed of yourself. How you lose to a dude that doesn't know how to do touchdown increase in the postseason? No touchdowns. So, Jimmy G, don't hold the ball too long. Don't. There you go. Don't do that.
I want to
You
say
need to
this
come in. You need to.
because you know I hate Stephen A. Smith. I guarantee you, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't care he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass tonight. You know why? Because he's won the last two fucking games. As
Yeah.
long as they
And,
win, I don't
and
think Garoppolo is going to be crying that he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet. Because he hasn't, right? It's been the running game
nope.
that's been carrying the
Yeah.
Niners. I guarantee you, Garoppolo doesn't care. If they're winning, he don't care. And if the
Yeah.
Niners win the Super Bowl, he'll be like, I don't care. I want a ring. Fuck you.
Hell yeah. We'll be having 6 rings. Six. Much for we tied with the Patriots and the Steelers. Well, when I talk about that right now, we're in talk. I just want Jimmy to throw decently. Not don't throw sloppy. Don't get sacked. Don't run. Well, run you have to, but just don't stand there like, hey, you go. Cause
By the way,
I want to see us. Sorry.
no, I was just going to say that game's on Fox. By the way, at 6:30 Sunday.
Yo, did you hear what the Rams was doing, trying to sell Fernandez ticket? You heard about that shit?
I didn't, and you know what? A lot of
They
people
were
are saying that was wrong, but I'm like, if you're the Rams, it makes sense. You don't want any 49er fans there. You want people from your fan base there.
But we took over the stadium the last time we played. But only thing I'm worried about, I gotta wear a Cooper Cup, you know. And 49ers have we have the most flag pass interference in all of NFL right now.
You got to
We
worry
got the
about
most
Coop,
flag pass.
and you got to worry about Odell
Yeah.
Beckham Jr. Because even though Odo's
Well,
not the threat he used to be, he's still a threat.
yeah, but all I gotta say is hopefully it's a nice, good game. No cheating and no pass interference. You get pass interference. No, you get pass interference. We don't want. So I'm hoping It's a Bengals and 49ers Super Bowl.
I will say
Both
this:
teams down. I know
looking
Patrick Mahomes won.
looking at the matchups we can have, because we've already made our picks. I will say this: if it's Bengals Rams, I'm going to be taking the Rams. If it's Bengals Niners, I would take the Bengals. If it's Rams Chiefs, give me the Chiefs. If it's 49ers and Chiefs, give me the Chiefs. And I only say that because now here's the reason why I can't. If the Niners make the Super Bowl, I'm not picking them. It's because the last time they won the Super Bowl, what happened?
Winning, and then we got flopped the defense last minute. Oh, we're gonna. That's
You
not
guys were
football.
leading that game, and then you let the Chiefs make a comeback. That's what I'd be worried about, because that
And COVID.
yeah, for that too. Because somebody says, "Oh, that doesn't make sense." May I remind people, the Bills made the Super Bowl 4 times in a row, but they could never get over the hump of winning the damn thing, because something was always holding them back. This Niners team, if they make it and they lose again, there's going to be people asking, "What do we got to do to win one?"
So,
Could
did
be
you hear
it
about
could
this?
it could be Brett Favre coming to not Brett Favre. It could be Aaron Rodgers coming to San Francisco or Russell
Yeah,
Wilson.
or motherfucking Tom Brady.
Nah, Brady will retire.
Yeah, I was reading something on Sports Center. Okay, it says the last 18 Super Bowls have contained either Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben, and or San 49ers. Last 18 Super Bowls as one of those teams in there. Ain't that crazy?
Not really. It will be interesting in next season though. We're guaranteed Big Ben won't be in it. We might be guaranteed Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers might not be in it, so that would be nice.
Who else is that's old as fuck? Who else is there?
I don't think there's that too many old quarterbacks left.
The whole draft of 2004, the Dolphins. Can you believe that?
By the way, I should point out
The,
Steelers GM Gobert is stepping down after the NFL draft this year.
and the Bills
Bears,
got and the Giants signed a head coach.
yeah, the Giants signed the Bills offensive coordinator, and the Bears turned the Colts Eberflus as his new head coach. Granted, the one head coach who should
Yo,
be hired
did
is the
you
one who
hear?
was fired from Miami.
Did you hear who got a list for the Texans coach? Josh
Oh God.
Josh McCown. Yo, where the fuck is this guy, the Brian Flores guy? I thought he did good for Dolphins. How come stupid?
I would like to. I don't want to say why he hasn't been hired yet. I have a theory, but I don't want to get to it on here because YouTube might shut me down. Hey, the Lakers lost. There is a God.
Oh, did you hear about the Lakers? He told the fans out because they called Carmelo Anthony boy or some shit like that.
Yeah,
They
I
called
heard that, and
Anthony
I
boy or
just
some shit.
I just shook my head and just left it at that.
I'm
Um,
like, man, LeBron James, we're not gonna win. Fuck out of here.
remember, fuck LeBron. Remember, fuck LeBron James.
But
That's
yeah,
the memo of this video.
I'm hoping, like, I'm gonna cry. Like, we have been to Bowl in 2 years. And I just hope my blood pressure is going high last 3 games. Cool, blood pressure, yo.
We need to
Come
give
on.
you some blood pressure pills, man, because I think I'm waiting to hear that you passed out in New York because of the fucking Niners.
Like, maybe the Packers in that game was like, oh, we're gonna win. Packers fan, we're gonna win this. No.
I guarantee everybody in
Yo,
Green Bay hates the
okay,
punter.
when you run the ball, when you intercept the ball, why did the guy stop? What was it? Devontae Adams. He had the ball. He could have kept running. He stops. Who does that? Like idiot. You just stop like, hey, how you doing? But the
Yeah,
best game this week was the Bills and Chiefs
Chiefs.
were a good ass game.
Yes, they will.
But I was hoping the Bills were gonna win. But no, unfortunately.
Oh. That's gonna do it
But
for the.
this thing,
Well, that's gonna do it for the show
sorry.
because unfortunately we had the black screen of death, but we made our picks. This is one of the few I don't care about picture because we're not really playing or anything. I would do another stream tonight, guys, but
Go Niners.
I hate saying that, but I'll say it one time. Go Niners. Um, Normally I would stream again, but unfortunately we have bad weather. It's snowing right now in Virginia, so I will not be streaming again tonight. I will be streaming
You got blizzard
tomorrow.
coming. You got blizzard coming too.
Hopefully streaming tomorrow night, which will be the Madden game against the 49ers, actually, Russell Wilson and the 49ers. Um, Sunday and Monday I am taking off,
I
so
like
after
that.
tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be getting back to Ghost of Tsushima. Wednesday, we'll be making the Super Bowl pick and doing the Super Bowl matchup against whoever I face in the AFC from the AFC. Uh, Thursday got delays because I want to trade Madden into GameStop when I head in there to trade in the other two games I have. Help me pay off shit, hoo-hoo. But until then, everyone be safe, enjoy the playoff games. Dave, good luck to your Niners.
Thank you.
No problem. And good luck to all four teams, and hopefully no one gets seriously injured. Granted, I have a feeling the Niners
Yeah.
Rams, the only injuries will be when the fans start fighting against each other in LA.
Well, you heard about the most tickets gonna be 49ers fans. You know that?
Which, if that's the case, that's disappointing, LA. You have the Rams there, and you got the
Well,
Super
you
Bowl there. What the
remember?
fuck?
You remember? The LA Rams was in Los Angeles, but they moved. They moved to St. Louis, so all those fans they got mad at them. So they became Raiders fans and 49ers fans. You know?
Well, then the Rams moved back, so.
Well, then St. Louis fans are mad because they didn't get their football team back.
And they never will.
But
Wah.
yeah, it's gonna be a good game, man. But I say, I'm like 100%. I'm like 90% positive we're gonna win. I'm like 90% positive. So
Do, do, do,
I got
do,
my
do, do.
Kittle jersey on. So that's my good luck charm right there, man. I got my hat. I got my hoodie. Got my blanket. I'm all set to go.
Well,
But first,
again,
Rumble. I hope Johnny
to,
Knoxville wins.
oh, Johnny Knoxville wins.
I hope Johnny Knoxville.
I think everyone would quit WWE. Enjoy the Rumble tomorrow night, guys. I
But
might
it's
talk
gonna happen.
about it. Give results on my stream tomorrow night, because by the time I stream, the Rumble will be over. Um,
Well, the rumor Moose gonna be in the Rumble. Moose from TNA.
yeah, guess what? Moose won't do a damn thing, just like Mickey James won't. Good night, everybody.